ho, ho, it's the holiday season, and, well, Santa giving the women's basketball team some wins, or you guys are earning them. We're joined now by Argonaut women's head coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton. Coach, obviously another great weekend for you. You go to UAH, you go to Lee, both tough places to play, and you knock out a couple of wins.
Oh, yeah, Santa came and delivered those presents early for Coach. Yeah, it was great.
Well, I mean, the team's just playing so well, and those are two very difficult places to play. Just talk about the way you guys played.
You know, we went into the Huntsville game coming off of exam week, coming off of a period where we hadn't been on the road in a while, and we started the game slow. You know, I didn't recognize my team in that first half. You know, they played out of sync. It wasn't effort. It wasn't their intensity. It was just we were just playing a little outside of ourselves. We settled down after the half, had to really battle our way back into the game. We were at one point a 16-point deficit, starting the fourth quarter, 10-point deficit, wind up winning by 3. But that just shows the maturity of our team.
Well, let's take a look at it. Of course, UAH, as you mentioned, always a tough place to play, but after the slow start got things going, Tony Brewer kind of took control of this one. 23 points, 8 rebounds for her, and another nice move down low for Tony.
We wouldn't have expected anything different. This was Tony's last time going home to Huntsville to play in front of her hometown crowd, and man, she delivered.
Haley Neiman inside. She had a good game as well with 19 points and a nice drive there. Right-handed layup, got it to fall, but it wasn't just her. Danielle Norquist had a good game as well with 13.
Danielle is the player that we've been looking for to come off the bench and give us great minutes, and she's doing that.
She is doing that at a high rate. And Belle Bistro, is there anybody better at shooting the three than Belle?
Not in the GSC.
Certainly not. This time from the corner, she knocks it down. She finished with 9 points, all from outside, 3 of 7 from 3 in this one. Then Danielle Norquist, Haley Neiman this time inside. That cut it to 4 with 3:15 to go. And then again, Tony Brewer. We're tied at 69. Minute left, and then Haley Neiman does her thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're going to our go-to players late in the game. We know what they can bring to the table, and, man, they bring it when we ask them to.
It's impressive to me at how strong you guys are at closing out games.
You know, I think it shows our maturity. You know, we've got 4 seniors on the floor for the majority of the time. That 5th player is either a freshman or a sophomore out there with them, but those 4 seniors are very well-seasoned players. And they're good. They're really good, talented players. And so that helps. That helps to be able to execute down the stretch.
72-69 the final in that game, and you guys faced a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter for the second straight game, and you're able to overcome that. That's not easy to do. I feel like the experience you talk about has to play a big factor in that.
The experience, and then mixing up the lineup a little bit, trying to find ways, again, to get to those key players, put the ball in their hands in positions where they can really score and contribute. That's what makes the difference for us.
Then it was off to Lee, and this is a tough place for you guys to play. This is not a place you've had a lot of success.
No, Lee entered our conference 6 years ago. We haven't won at their place. We beat them when they've come to our place, but never on their court. It's a tough place to play. They've got great fan support. They've got a very talented team and a great coach, and it's a hard place to get a win.
Tony Brewer was going to make sure that streak was going to come to an end. She had 25 points, 12 rebounds, and then Belle Bistro, how about her? I know we talked about it before. 19 points in this one, good in the league.
Yeah, and Belle, 14 of those coming in the first quarter. I mean, she had the hot hand. She made their defense have to extend out, and that opened up opportunities for Haley and Tony inside.
And on cue, Haley Neiman steps out and knocks down the 3, and she can get it done inside. Great to have that kind of presence where you can do it both inside and outside. And Neiman, again, down low, and, well, why not? One more just for good measure. Haley Neiman, huge game for her. She finished with 16 in the 76-70 win. You now can no longer say you haven't won at Lee.
Oh, man. We have now won in my tenure here at every arena in the GSC. What a great statement to make.
Well, that's certainly a good one there. And you guys just keep rolling along. Now it's the holiday break, so let's talk about that when we come back. There is certainly a break around Christmas for the Argos, and they're back at it after the new year. We discuss coaches' holiday plans and so much more when we come back on Argo Sports Weekly.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. So bright, so loud. It rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls, blazes past old ways of thinking. It's creativity, pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
Mercy Ships is bringing services to countries that would otherwise never be able to access those services.
We just see people that need help. You realise that they have no way of getting help, and I want them to know that they're loved.
Water. It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. CharityWater.org. Join us.
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. The holidays are upon us. So, Coach, do you have all your holiday shopping done? Now, when do you find time to take care of all of the things you have to do around the holidays when you're a coach?
Good thing they're shopping online. That helps a lot. There's been a lot of packages delivered to the Yelton household. but yeah, it's hard. It's hard during basketball season because our jobs consume us, as coaches. And so we don't have a lot of free time. We don't have a lot of downtime at home. So you just got to make some adjustments and roll with it. It's nice for us to have a little bit of break coming up, though.
You're in the middle of a really good season right now. So are you able to really enjoy the break, or are you anxious the whole time? What's that like, having such an exciting time right in the middle of a college basketball season?
It's great to be on a good run going into Christmas break. It makes me happier. It makes my family happier. I'm not as consumed with basketball. I can actually take a step back and relax for a day or two. But still, during this Christmas break, when our players are home with their families, we're still recruiting. We're still working. We're still breaking down film. We're still thinking about our team and trying to make adjustments of how we can continue to have a successful season.
Are there any great traditions in your family? Bobby, Toby, do they have anything that they like the most about the Christmas season?
Yeah, well, one of our biggest traditions, it starts during the year. So when we have time to travel as a family, one of the things we do when we travel is pick up an ornament from all the places that we go to.
Oh, nice.
So at Christmas, we get to revamp about where we've been that year, reminisce about the places we've been in the past, and they really love to hang those ornaments on the Christmas tree. So sometimes it can be a little taxing for Mom, as far as getting those out, and sometimes I hope they do that while I'm on the road.
Right.
But it's a good tradition to have them look through those ornaments and reminisce.
Let's talk about the team. You mentioned they scatter everywhere. Everybody goes home for the holidays. Is that nerve-wracking, not seeing your players every day, not knowing really what they're up to?
You hope and trust that they're going to be college athletes. We want them to have time with their families and enjoy their time with their families. But this year we have a little bit more extended break than most teams in the GSC. We're taking almost 12 days off. And so during that time, they have to understand they still have to condition. They still need to put a basketball in their hand. They still need to work out. Studies show that after 3 days of non-physical activities, it puts you back about 2 weeks. And so we encourage them, if you're going to take 2 days off, on that third day, you've got to do something, and you've got to do it intensely.
Wow, that's a lot, certainly, to try to knock out at that point. You guys get back and pick it up again in the new year. What do you do over this time, and when do you guys start to get back to practicing? When's the team come together again?
Yeah, we're going to come back 5 days before our next game. And when we do come back, we'll do 2-a-days practices. We'll have a lot of film sessions. But this is a great time to be a student athlete, because when you come back and rejoin the team, you don't have schoolwork to worry about. The campus is empty. Really, it's almost like being a professional basketball player.
Right.
You get to focus on basketball. You can really focus on you and your team before classes start back in early January.
Well, that's got to be a lot of fun. Good luck in the second half. I know it's going to be an exciting season. The rest of the way should be fun. Coach, good luck.
We're looking forward to it.
I bet. Well, Todd Steelman has certainly brought some new life to this women's program as the new assistant coach. He stops by to talk hoops. When we come back, this is Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. A thunderous spark. So bright. So loud. It cuts through clutter. Rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls. tears down barriers and blazes past old ways of thinking. It demands to be seen, heard, and understood. It's creativity, pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. He's Todd Steelman, the new Argonaut women's assistant coach. And, well, you are the resident spreader of holiday cheer. I mean, you're really into this holiday season. You've got the office decorated. You brought a bunch of props. The team took a bunch of pictures. I mean, you really get into this, don't you?
Well, I just enjoy what I do. I enjoy this time of year. And it's just fun to kind of spruce up the office, make it feel a little bit Christmas-like, and everybody's kind of taken it and run with it a little bit. So it's been fun.
You going to go do any caroling over the break? You've got some,
no
you got some time off.
No caroling at this point.
Oh, come on, you've got the pipes
planned,
for it.
Nothing planned, but you know, there's always singing going on. You can ask Coach Yelton or the kids. We're always singing a lot on the bus and things like that.
I was going to bring that up. I mean, you're not just a one-man shop here. I mean, you've got obviously basketball in your background, but you can sing a little bit too. How'd you get into singing? You've sung the national anthem before.
Yeah, that's something I've done my entire life, really. You know, I was one of those that played sports, but was also in the choir. One of the only people that was doing that, but sang in church choirs and sang in church groups and things like that over the years. So. I don't know when I started doing the national anthems, but it kind of started, I think, with my days at North Carolina, really, and doing games for the women's team there, and continuing on, you know, I did a couple of NBA preseason games, things like that. So been a while. Your degree is originally in broadcasting. Is that the path you wanted to go back when you were in school? You know, I really thought that's what I was going to do, but I thought I was going to use sports as the platform. And then kind of on the back end, get into it, whether it was doing color or something like that. But I knew I wasn't a production side guy. And so I wanted to be able to do things where I was able to talk sports, be in front of the camera, I guess, and that type of thing. So I didn't know that coaching was going to be my path. And once I got into this, you know, I realized that this is where I felt like I was called to be. How'd you end up in this path? Because a lot of people, it's a tough business to get into, and it's certainly not easy once you're in it. So how did you break into coaching, and how did this end up being the path you took? You know, I'd moved to the University of North Carolina. I was taking some classes to gain my residency into graduate school. And Sylvia Hatchell, I'd gone to the coaches just to see if there was anything I could do to help out, be a part of. And Coach Hatchell let me be a part of kind of her program, doing the scorebook, doing things like that. And then her son was attending a small school in Durham, and she got me my first coaching job as a middle school girls coach at Crescent Christian Academy. And so that's where it started, 1 year of middle school girls, which was about all I could take of middle school girls. But I got the varsity job after that, and then from there it just kind of kept going and going. You obviously made a connection somewhere along the way with Coach Yelton. When did that happen? How did that come to be? Well, that was really my first year. I mean, met all the team that first year, but my second year when I was in graduate school, I was part of the male practice squad. So, and Stephanie and I, we were really kind of matched up with each other every day in practice. So it was a lot of fun because we had a pretty good squad, and we were really competitive with the team, and we felt like we were helping them. I mean, we had a good group that wasn't trying to dunk on them or do things like that. We were really trying to help them be the best that they could be because we knew they had a chance to be a championship caliber team. And so it just ended up we were always matched up with each other. And so we developed a friendship then, and it's something that's carried on over the years. Besides your vocal gifts, I'm sure every coach, it seems like, has something they bring to the table, something they specialize in. For you, what would you say that is? Well, as a coach, it's funny because as a high school coach, I was so defensive oriented. I didn't have a lot of talented offensive kids, but over the last 6-7 years, working with Richard Barron at Maine and seeing how he was creative with his offensive repertoire, that's something that I've really taken a hold of over the last few years. And so I really enjoy watching how we space the floor with the new way of basketball being played. It's just really fun to kind of try to put people in the right spots and help them reach their potential. You know, we want them to be able to maximize what they do, so I enjoy that.
Well, certainly enjoyed the time with you. Thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tommy.
All right, that is Todd Steelman. It was a tough weekend for the men. We'll regale you with tales of their travels next on Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. So bright, so loud. It rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls, blazes past old ways of thinking. It's creativity, pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. The Argonaut men were looking to snap a 4-game skid on their trip to Alabama Huntsville. It would be a tough battle. UAH certainly has had a good team, as they always do, and it's a tough place to play. Inside to John Brown. He knocks down the layup. Argos up early. John Brown again from 3, cashes that one home. Brown finished with 12 points. Again, inside, just lays it in with some good post moves. Then Maxwell Benoit, deep on the right wing, rattles home that 3. Benoit would have a nice game as well, finishing with 12 points, this time from inside with a pull-up jumper. They'd find him again, top of the key, little drive and floater, got it. Maxwell Benoit, nice game. Then the Argonauts would start their comeback late in the second half. First, Benoit drills the 3. Then down low, again, Benoit, little floater, got it to fall. John Brown in the lane, got the friendly roll. Argonauts cut it to 2 with 5. But then it was UAH starting to pull away, got it inside. They'd finish this game on a 10-2 run over the last 5 minutes of this contest. Then the 3 at the end pretty well capped it for UAH. And it was the Chargers that prevailed in this one. Final score, UAH 62, Argonauts 52. So then, it was a 5-game losing streak. Trying to break it at Lee. Rashaan Benson would have a good game. Benson, as I mentioned, a big game, and he'd get the Argonauts scoring started with an open 3 from deep on the top of the key. This time going one-on-one, lays it in from the left side of the fast break layup. Maxwell Benoit, another nice game for him. Benoit hits the step back jumper there. Argonauts up 2. Benson again drills the 3. Argonauts lead now 4. Late inside. The runner goes for Parker Sue. And then this is Benson. 20 seconds left. Hand in his face, around and out. And then it was Lee's turn. They would let the clock wind down, save it for pretty close to the last shot. And they'd get it to fall. Parker Sue hits the 3 with 2.5 left. Final score, Lee wins it 70-67 over the Argonauts. Rashaan Benson finished with a game-high 21 points. Alisson Cobb chipped in 12. Maxwell Benoit and John Brown each had 10 points. The men's streak is now at 6. In their last 7 losses, the Argonauts have fallen by an average of just over 6 points. They've also had a second-half lead in all but one of those games. They are off over the holiday break until returning to action on December 30th against LaGrange College. It's a 4 o'clock tip. The UWF Fieldhouse. Despite the challenging start to the season, Rashaan Benson is putting together a dazzling senior season. Will Kennedy tracked him down to give you an inside look at the star guard. Here's 60 seconds with Rashaan Benson.
60 Seconds with Rashaan Benson, a senior on the UWF men's basketball team. We like to get to know our athletes a little bit, talk about some stuff away from the court, even though we're sitting by the court. Where are you from, Rashaan?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Ooh, barbecue. So you come down here. Have you found anything even close?
Voodoo is good, but it's not like home. It's not like home, not at all.
Is there another sport outside of basketball that you know you're good at, and is there maybe one that you know you can't play?
I'm good at football, but I couldn't play football, and I wish I could play baseball because that's pretty cool. I respect the baseball players a lot.
Is there anything you watch on TV that you binge watch?
Most definitely Game of Thrones, best show on TV.
You waiting for that last final season?
It's kind of love-hate because I'm ready for it to come back, but I don't want it to end, so I got mixed emotions about it.
Get out and watch this man play. He's pretty good. Rashaan Benson, this has been 60 Seconds with.
Graduation was December 15th. The Argos sent several student athletes across the stage to accept their diplomas, something Athletic Director Dave Scott is very proud of. He stops by next to talk about it.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. So bright, so loud. It rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls, blazes past old ways of thinking. It's creativity. Pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Water. It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. CharityWater.org. Join us.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. We talk athletics as a whole now with Argonaut Athletic Director Dave Scott. Thanks so much for being here. How are you?
Tommy, great. Glad to be here today.
You should be great. It was graduation on Saturday, and things went pretty well, I think, for the athletic department.
They did. You know, we were able to go to graduation, and it's always a great time. Part of what we do here at the university is graduate people into begin their careers. We had something like 22 student athletes graduate Saturday, so great day for the athletic department, and the university had its 100,000th graduate.
Wow.
So, you know, just becoming of age as an institution.
Not just great for the university, great for athletics as well. And when you talk about graduation rates, it seems like a lot of times when you talk about student athletes, the graduation aspect of it kind of gets forgotten about. That's really important at UWF. Why is that so important?
It is. I mean, that's what we do at universities. We help people accomplish their goals, move on in their careers, and, you know, athletics and sports is a part of that. You know, people want to have that opportunity for competition and represent their institutions. So for me, that's one of the greatest honors and privileges as a student athlete. But, you know, at the heart of what we do is to graduate you in your profession that you've chosen to do. So we fortunately have a lot of students that have done that and moved on to great careers, be it in sports or other things.
As an athletic director, how important is it to know that the school and the university has great programs academically to attract students, especially at the Division II level, because most of these athletes are going on into the working world. Not many of them are going right into professional sports at this level.
Very true. And at our institution, we have a great array of professional programs, and that gives you, as far as recruiting, an opportunity to attract student athletes in most professions. So a lot of times when they're looking at institutions and making that final decision, do I go here or do I go there? It's, do they have the degree program I want? What is it, you know, how is it ranked nationally? So that's been a great thing at the University of West Florida, to have those strong academic departments for our students to go into, and that's been a good thing when it hits the recruiting trail.
From an administrative standpoint, talk about how you balance coaches that are able to graduate their athletes with winning, because that's got to be a delicate balance.
It is, but at UWF, that's part of our tagline, is building champions for life. So, I mean, you have to graduate student athletes. If you can't do that, that's one of the #1 things we do. Then, obviously, we want to win. I mean, we have 9 national championships and I think 98 conference championships now in the time period that we've been in the NCAA. So we want to do that. We want to graduate student athletes. We want them to be successful on the field and in the classroom, and we want them to be good community partners. That's why community service is also a part of what we do. But And that's why we use the tagline, Building Champions for Life, because we want those individuals to step out into our community and be successful.
I had a chance to talk with the football program at the end of the season at their banquet, and one of the things I told them after a disappointing season was they've been a part of something so much bigger than just a football season. And talk about that program, because the fall sports season is just wrapped up. I know it was kind of a disappointing season for football, but that is a group that's a part of something bigger. And then you tack on volleyball and soccer in the years that both soccer teams had. It was a pretty successful fall sports season.
Yeah, it's funny. At the University of West Florida, our expectations are so high. You go to other institutions, and if they make it to the NCAA playoffs, that's been a great year, and they're celebrating that. And sometimes I feel like we cheat our student athletes because each year it's something different. It's some other new accomplishment. Mm-hmm. But for us as an institution and staff, you're looking at it like, okay, we made the NCAA playoffs. Well, we do that in most sports, So it's a commonplace, and it's an expectation. So the expectation is you're going to go on and compete. Football, third year, 6-5. If we'd have started and said, this is what you're going to do the first 3 years, we'd have took that hands down. Right. It's just now those expectations are so much greater that we're going to go on and do so much. And like in anything, injuries and other things play into that. So you got to have that success not only on the field, but, keeping people healthy. But, volleyball had a great season, won another conference championship. Women's soccer went on to NCAA playoffs, 20-1. Can't talk much about that. I mean, a great opportunity there. Men's soccer playing in the GSC championships, cross country competing well in our conference. So we just keeps rolling on. Sometimes you have to sit back and think about what number it is. And like I said, I think we went to our 98th conference championship. At some point this spring, we'll probably go over 100. Yeah. Far outdistancing a lot of our peers in our conference. So we're very happy that we're having that kind of success. At the same time, we're graduating those student athletes. So I think that's a big part of what we are.
Before I let you go, I want to talk about facilities, because they're constantly being upgraded. That's the big key in college athletics. We've got some projects on the horizon. What are you working on? Yeah, I mean, we've been working on, when we do a thing called nominal to group technique with our coaches and staff, where they get a chance to vote and throw projects on the wall. One of those has been the field house for the last 3 years. So we really want to try to do some things there to make some changes and freshen that up. Fieldhouse lobby is a project that we're looking at right now, trying to do some things that recognize our success. If you go in there, a lot of trophies, right? So it's how do you manage those? We're getting to a point that we need room to put those in there. So how do we highlight some of the higher level NCAA championships? So we're looking to do that. We're also looking to connect our brand to Nike and make that more recognizable, and create a recruiting stop, right? So that when you step into that fieldhouse lobby, you get a sense for that you are at the University of West Florida and what that means, that there's 9 national championships, 98 conference championships, and some of the history of those programs before, and hopefully linked to the future, so that when you step in there, it creates a sense for a recruit, for a student, that you're very proud of who you are. If you're a student from across campus and coming to an event at the Fieldhouse, that gives you that sense of pride. So some things there, and then also looking to update some branding really in the new facility, in University Park facility. We got those facilities built, but coming back and putting the Argonaut brand a little bit through those spaces, and then futurely just trying to continue to do things that make our facilities look a little bit better and really function better for what we do. Well, Dave, thanks so much. Certainly look forward to seeing all those projects wrap up. Thanks so much. Thanks, Tommy. You have a good holiday season. Right, you as well. Well, that does it this week for Argo Sports Weekly. Thank you for watching. Both teams have extended layoffs around the holidays. The men are back on the floor on the 30th. The women won't be back on the court until after the first of the year. Stay up to date with all things Argos at GoArgos.com. For Dave, Todd, Stephanie, our entire crew, I'm Tommy Thrall. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great holiday season, and Go Argos.